You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. Buying off the plans, dream or disaster? What you need to know before saying yes to a shiny new build. Kia ora friends and welcome back to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, mortgage advisor, mom of 4, and today your personal guide through the glittery but sometimes risky world of buying off the plans. If you ever thought, a brand new home, I could just move in and not lift a finger, you're not alone. New builds can look like a dream, especially if you don't need a paintbrush or a reno budget. But here is the real question. Is buying off the plans a dream or could it turn into a disaster? Let's break down the pros, the pitfalls, and what you really need to check before you sign anything. Number 1, what does buying off the plans actually mean? Buying off the plans means you're purchasing a property that hasn't been built yet. You're usually committing based on floor plans, renderings, and specs, and sometimes just a patch of dirt in a brochure. Sounds futuristic, right? And there are the perks, but also some serious things to watch out for. Let's talk about the pros. Let's not ignore the upside. Lower deposit requirements for the builds, especially with Kayanga or first home loan schemes. Potential capital gain. If prices rise during the build, you could move in with instant equity. Everything is brand new, meaning less maintenance, more modern layouts, and up to code building standards, meaning a warmer home too. Time to save more because settlement usually happens months after signing, in some cases even more than 12 months. Sounds amazing, right? Now, let's balance that with the reality. The pitfalls you can't afford to ignore. Sunset clause. There are clauses that allow the developer to cancel the contract if the build isn't completed by a certain date. Guess what? If values rise, they might cancel and resell for more. Delays. Builds often take longer than planned. That affects loan approvals and your moving plans. Valuation risks. The final property might be worth less than the contract price at completion, and the bank could reduce what they're willing to lend. This is a huge one, so please pay close attention to this one. Now, spec changes. Some developers downgrade materials or finishes without notice. The house you imagined might not be the one you get. Let's look at the case study, the unexpected delay and down valuation. Let me tell you about a client couple, Dan and Priya. They signed to buy a townhouse off the plans in Lower Hutt, 10% deposit, settlement in 12 months. All looked good, but the build was delayed twice. And by the time it was finished, the market had softened a little. Their contract price was $790,000, but the final bank valuation came back at $745,000. That meant the bank wouldn't lend the full amount, and they had to scramble to cover the shortfall or risk losing the property and their deposit altogether. Luckily, we found them a solution and got them across the line. But that was a stressful ride. So lesson in this, buying it off the plans isn't set a forget move. You need ongoing support and backup options. And my number 1 tip is usually save during the build. Let's look at some more tips that I have for you. Here's what I tell every client looking at a new build. Get proper legal advice, especially around the sunset clause and build delays. Just like the developer can pull the sunset clause on you, you can pull the sunset clause on the developer as well. So if the build is not complete on time, you can actually withdraw from the contract as well. Ask questions about the builder. Look at the reviews, the history, and the build time bracket. Confirm your finance time frame. Some banks only hold pre-approvals for 90 days. You may need multiple reapprovals. There are certain banks that can approve you up to 12 months, but again, we do have to do certain things to keep that approval in place. So if anything changes in your life financially, that approval may need to be reapproved again. Get regular updates and don't assume no news is good news. Stay on top of the news with your developer. Check in on the property if you can physically yourself. Do drive-bys. Now, have a plan B, just in case the valuation or lending doesn't go to plan. And don't worry, this is where I come in. I help manage that process so you're not caught off guard. Final thoughts? Buying off the plans can be a brilliant move, especially for first-home buyers or people wanting something modern and hassle-free. But it's not just a matter of signing the contract and kicking back. You need someone in your corner who knows how to ask the right questions, structure the finance properly, and fight for you if things go sideways. So dream big, just make sure you've got a solid plan behind that dream. That's it for the episode of That Home Loan Hub. If you're considering a new build or have questions about a contract you're looking at, flick me a message. Let's make sure your dream home doesn't come with a nightmare close. Follow the podcast, send this episode to someone eyeing up a shiny townhouse brochure, and I'll catch you next week for more smart mortgage talk without the stress. And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.